For today's headlines, Duterte declares national mourning period for Aquino. UNCLOS victory, PNoy's legacy. Grid operator avoids audit. 6 killed in Black Hawk crash. Two million more Sinovac doses arrive. Hong Kongers snap at last print of pro-democracy paper. Gilas seal OQT roster. Southwest monsoon affecting northern and central Luzon. Good morning, I am Sandy Locos and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Friday, June 25, and now the news. President Rodrigo Duterte on Thursday declared a 10-day national mourning period in honor of his predecessor, former President Benigno Aquino III. The period begins on June 24 and ends on July 3 as stated in Proclamation number 1169. The proclamation came hours after Aquino, 61, succumbed to renal disease due to diabetes. He died at the Capital Medical Center in Quezon City on 6:30 a.m. Thursday. The flying of the flag at half-mast is a sign of mourning on all buildings and places where it is displayed. That is according to the Flag and Heraldic Code of the Philippines. Earlier in the day, Duterte conveyed his condolences over Aquino's passing. He also offered a moment of silence during a speech in Malacanang where he relayed the country's gratitude to the former leader. Former President Noynoy Aquino's last fight and rare public appearance after his stint in Malacanang was when he joined an indignation rally against the burial of the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos at the libingan ng mga bayani on November 18, 2016. He marched with the people at the Rizal Park to counter historical revisionism, the records that several forces of society felt would have been erased by Marcos' internment at the Cemetery for Heroes, allowed by no less than by his successor, President Duterte, to fulfill a promise to the Marcos family that supported his candidacy. That appearance was a brave move for Aquino, who 6 years before had bungled his handling of the Quirino Grandstand hostage crisis, the scene of which was just a stone's away from the site where he added his voice against the Marcos burial. The Grandstand mishap was the first test to Aquino's presidency on August 23, 2010, 2 days after he had commemorated the 27th anniversary of his father, Ninoy Aquino's assassination at the Manila International Airport, purportedly by forces loyal to Ninoy's rival, Marcos. It was among the issues his foes had tainted him to cement the road for the rise of Duterte. Aquino's fault was being there when a corrupt policeman commandeered a bus full of Hong Kong Chinese tourists in order to demand his reinstatement, resulting in death of 9, including the perpetrator. In other news, the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, or NGCP, the lone entity that controls the energy grid of the country, continues to resist its long-delayed comprehensive system as well as facility audit, which would allay fears of potential Chinese intrusion in our power system. Based on a document obtained by the Daily Tribune, NGCP Vice President Maria Cinta Manrique, through a letter dated June 22, denied the supposed audit of its transmission assets at San Simon 230 kV substation project on July 29 to 30. Manrique insisted that the inspection of the project has no legal basis. Citing a section of its concession agreement, Manrique said NGCP may only allow Transco access to the transmission assets if it wants to inspect the firm's books as well as records and witness any aspect of the performance of the agreement. She also noted that transmission assets, as described in the agreement, does not include transmission projects with ongoing activities. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Manong Joe po!
At Ate Maita,
Matapos ang magkasunod na buwang pagbaba, bagyang tumaas ang overall electricity rates ng halos 9 centavos per kilowatt hour ngayong buwan. At paalala lang po, maging energy efficient po tayo.
lalo pag mainit. Dahil masirap ang appliances at mas makonsumo. Buti may bright ideas tayo na based sa Meralco Power Lab tests. Engineer Alfred?
Alam nyo ba, ang lumang aircon, mas mataas ang konsumo. Up to 682 pesos ang dagdag kada buwan kumpara sa bago. Mas energy efficient kasi ang technology ng bagong aircons. At kung inverter, pwedeng lampas 1,000 pesos ang savings per month. Piliin din yung may horsepower na sakto sa laki ng kwarto. Kung hindi, halos 1,000 ang extra gastos buwan-buwan.
Sundan ang tips na to. And visit our website para you have the power this summer.
An S-70I Black Hawk helicopter of the Philippine Air Force crashed in Tarlac while on a night flight proficiency training on Wednesday. All 6 occupants, authorities said. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana said 3 pilots and 3 aircrew perished in the crash. He extended the department's sympathies to the bereaved families. Lieutenant Colonel Maynard Mariano, HAF spokesman, declined to name the fatalities but said that 1 pilot had the rank of lieutenant colonel and 2 were ranked major, while a master sergeant, technical sergeant, and sergeant served as crew. He said the helicopter was earlier reported to be late for its estimated time of return to its station at Clark, prompting a search. The chopper took off for the training around 8 p.m. and had yet to return by 10 p.m. It was eventually found at an area within the military's gunnery range in Crow Valley. The helicopter was among the first batch of 6 choppers delivered from Poland last November. The Philippines on Thursday received 2 million more doses of COVID vaccines from China's Sinovac biotech. The latest shipment was 4th batch of Sinovac that arrived this month. It was airlifted by Cebu Pacific and arrived at the PNoy Aquino International Airport past 7 a.m. Of the 2 million doses, 1.6 million doses were procured by the national government, while the remaining 400,000 doses were brought by the local government of Manila. It was welcomed by National Task Force Against COVID-19 Chief Implementer Carlito Galvez Jr., Health Secretary Francisco Duque III, Manila Mayor Isko Moreno, and Vaccine Mayor Hanelet Lacuna. The latest delivery pushed the total number of Sinovac doses received by the Philippines to 5.5 million doses this month. Aside from Sinovac, he said that the country is also expecting 250 doses of Moderna vaccines on June 27. Hong Kong's pro-democracy Apple Daily tabloid said it was a victim of tyranny in a defiant final edition on Thursday, after it was forced to close under a new national security law, ending a 26-year run of taking on China's authoritarian leaders. The sudden death of the popular newspaper is the latest blow to Hong Kong's freedoms, deepening unease over whether the International Finance Center can remain a media hub as China seeks to stamp out dissent. Queues formed across Hong Kong on Thursday as residents raced to snap one of the million copies Apple Daily said it planned to print. Many vendors sold out within minutes and were waiting for fresh deliveries. The swan-song front page featured the paper's own journalist, who are waving goodbye to crowds outside its headquarters. Apple Daily said Deputy Chief Editor Chan Kui-man, who was arrested last week on a national security charge, wrote in a letter to readers. In the working-class district of Mongkok, hundreds queued through the early hours of the morning in order to get their hands on the final edition, some chanting Apple Daily, we will meet again. We will be back. Stay with us.
Make long distance easy with the Mirage G4.
In sports, Gilas Pilipinas finally named its 12-man roster that will be seeing action in the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament in Serbia starting June 29. Naturalized player Angelo Cuame, Dwight Ramos, and Kai Soto lead the young but scrappy Filipino squad that boarded a Turkish Airlines flight TK085 bound for Istanbul last night to shoot for a slot in the Tokyo Olympics. Also making the roster are RJ Abarrientos, Justin Baltazar, Jeo Chu, Isa Akgo, Jordan Heading, William Navarro, Mike Nieto, Carl Tamayo, and SJ Belangel, the hero of their shocking win over South Korea during the third window of the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Left out were Javi Gomez Del Llano, JD Tungkab, and Lebron Lopez. The Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas said cutting the 16-year-old Lopez wasn't easy, but they had to do it to give his slot to taller players who can guard the giants of Serbia and Dominican Republic. Gilas head coach Tab Baldwin said despite getting cut, Lopez still occupies a special place in their team. Gilas will clash with Serbia on June 30 and Dominican Republic on July 1 for a chance to see action in the Summer Games. State Weather Bureau Pag-asa on Friday said that southwest monsoon is currently affecting northern and central Luzon. Batanes, Babuyan Islands, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, Bataan, and Zambales will have cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. Metro Manila and the rest of the country will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. On the other hand, as of 3 a.m., the active tropical cyclone outside the Philippine Area of Responsibility or Severe Tropical Storm Champi was located 1,840 kilometers east of extreme northern Luzon with maximum sustained winds of 95 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 115 kilometers per hour. It is moving northwestward at 10 kilometers per hour. The country's temperature will range from 25.2 degrees Celsius up to 32.4 degrees Celsius. And that wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Kachibu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarsito emoticons are also available in our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store and search for Kachibu Community. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store and Araneta Center. Again, this is Sandy Lucas and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.